Hi, hello there. I am fantasy author Dianna Gunn, and today I'm here to share how you can protect your wrists from repetitive strain injuries during NaNoWriMo and beyond. First, let me make the major disclaimer that I am not any kind of medical professional. I have never attended a single day of any advanced medical course in my entire life. I am speaking to you as someone who has lived with a repetitive strain injury for a long time and who has almost completely eradicated my pain and my problem. And if you are already going through pain and you are considering doing some of these same things, consult your doctor before you start. I personally started struggling with a repetitive strain injury when I was 15. And went through several different doctors before finally getting diagnosed with a form of tendinitis at 19. There was a point in time where if I opened a door the wrong way, I would be in crippling pain for the rest of the day, and I couldn't write more than a paragraph without being in intense pain. But today, my wrists barely ever feel any pain, and I'm actually able to do a full workout with weights, still only 5-pound weights. But when you go from barely being able to open certain doors to being able to do a full hour-long workout with 5-pound weights, it's a big deal. Protecting your wrists from these repetitive strain injuries is important for writers all year round, but it is particularly important during NaNoWriMo when a lot of us are writing 2 or 3 times as much as we normally would. Today I'm going to focus on some super basic practical tips you can use. I'm actually planning to do a full video showing the wrist stretches that I do, but that's going to require a different space from where I normally film, so you're going to have to wait probably until after NaNoWriMo to see the full routine of wrist stretches and exercises that I do. But for today, let's just focus on the basics. For starters, if at all humanly possible, make sure that your space is set up ergonomically. I understand that some of us are stuck working at whatever kitchen table or counter we can find space in. I have a dedicated writing desk now, but for a long time I worked in these kinds of makeshift spaces too, and I wrote so much in these spaces that I got a repetitive strain injury. So if at all possible, work in an ergonomic environment whenever possible, and if you know that you can't really customize your space to make it more ergonomic for you to work in, institute more frequent breaks. Normally I recommend taking a break every hour, but if you're going to be working in a space that isn't ergonomically friendly, make sure you take a break every half hour to get up, get away from your writing space, and stretch out your whole body, including your wrists. My next big tip is to do a series of wrist stretches at the beginning and the end of every writing session. If you're going to be writing for a whole day, you might want to institute stretching breaks 3 or 4 times throughout the day so that you can really keep your wrists flexible and happy. As I said earlier, I'm eventually going to do a video showing you exactly what wrist stretches and exercises I do at the beginning and end of every work session. But for now, I've included a few links in the video description below that will take you to places where you can physically see drawings of different wrist stretches that are recommended for people trying to prevent repetitive strain injuries or reduce the pain caused by repetitive strain injuries. Final tip for reducing the risk of repetitive strain injury is one that you writer folk are probably not going to like very much. And to be honest, I didn't like it at the beginning either, but I've grown to love it, and that is actively exercise your wrists. Work to strengthen them when you're not writing. Do wrist exercises every single day. Lift weights. Build those forearm and wrist muscles. If you have that upper body strength already, your muscles will be more resilient and more able to cope with the stress that you put them under when you go on a big writing binge like during NaNoWriMo. Alright, so to sum it all up, you want to make your workspace as ergonomic as possible, stretch your wrists out before and after every writing session, and even a couple times in the middle if you're doing a full day writing session, and exercise your wrists and arms on a regular basis so that your muscles are strong and resilient. This may sound like a lot of work, especially for those of us who are not very physically inclined like myself, but let me tell you, as someone who has experienced crippling pain from a repetitive strain injury, it is 1,000% worth it to do this work now and not have to go through the pain. If you have struggled with repetitive strain injury in the past, or you are struggling with it right now and you found some of these tips useful, or you have other tips you'd like to share, please do reach out to me in the comments section below. And of course, if you want more amazing NaNoWriMo themed advice over the next month, subscribe to this channel and don't forget to click on that little bell so you actually get notifications. Thank you so much for watching. I am fantasy author Dianna Gunn, and I will see you next Thursday.